Chido Obi mocks Arsenal grinning squinting face. Grealish reacts to Forest's shock when face screaming in fear. And injury updates for Man United ahead of their Arsenal clash. Soccer ball fire, stay tuned for all the latest football news. Chido Obi is laughing at Arsenal and Mikel Arteta after sensational Manchester United transfer. Manchester United welcome Arsenal to Old Trafford in the Premier League on Sunday. United drew 1-1 with Real Sociedad in the Europa League on Thursday night, but they returned to Manchester ultimately feeling disappointed they didn't win the game in San Sebastian. Ruben Amorim's side have often reserved their best performances for fixtures away from home during his tenure, and they must deliver a strong display against Arsenal this weekend. Arsenal head into this clash after an emphatic 7-1 victory over PSV in the Champions League, and they are looking to win 5 successive games against United in the Premier League. By against his former club. Chido Obi wasn't involved in the FA Youth Cup quarter-final against Arsenal last weekend, but he might get the chance to play his former club in the Premier League on Sunday afternoon. "Thank you so much," commented Obi under a picture of a teammate after the under-18s knocked out Arsenal of the prestigious academy competition, which suggested there is no love lost between Obi and the Gunners. Obi will relish the prospect of scoring against Arsenal at Old Trafford, although it would be a surprise to see Amorim include the youngster in the starting team, despite having eyes on the second leg against Real Sociedad in the Europa League. Nonetheless, Obi could get another opportunity to show what he can do from the bench, and he would love nothing more than to score against the club, who he chose to leave last summer. Rotation from Amorim? Amorim's squad has been depleted by injuries and, speaking after the Sociedad game, he said United would have to physically survive against Arsenal to make it unscathed to next week. Toby Collier was introduced in the final mates in Spain, and perhaps the youngster will be given a start against Arsenal. He returned to training on Wednesday after recovering from a small muscle injury, and he proved he's got value to add before his momentum was disrupted by that issue. The 21-year-old made an excellent cameo from the bench in the FA Cup third-round victory against Arsenal in January and excelled against Southampton. Collier was also given minutes against Brighton and followed those appearances with a start against Rangers in the Europa League. After facing Rangers, Collier said he was hoping for more starts in the remainder of the season, and his ability to cover every blade of grass on the pitch means he'd be a logical selection. Maguire, Ugarte, a mad Manchester United injury news and return dates ahead of Arsenal fixture. Manchester United will be eyeing a return to winning ways when they welcome Arsenal to Old Trafford in the Premier League on Sunday afternoon. United drew 1-1 with Real Sociedad in the first leg of their Europa League last 16 tie at the Real Arena on Thursday night, meaning they head into the clash with the Gunners having won just one of their last 5 matches. A second-half penalty from Mikel Oyarzabal wiped out Joshua Zirkzee's opener. Ahead of focusing on the second leg of their tie with Sociedad at Old Trafford on Thursday, United must switch their attention back to the Premier League and a visit of the Gunners. Ahead of the game, head coach Ruben Amorim has played down the possibility of any of the players who missed out in midweek through injury being back available. With that said, here is all the very latest on the injury front ahead of the visit of Mikel Arteta's side. Altay Bayındır goalkeeper Bayındır has missed each of United's last 6 matches with an unspecified injury he sustained ahead of their FA Cup 4th round win over Leicester City last month. He was last included in a matchday squad on February 2nd. Ahead of the draw with Everton last month, Amorim said the former Fenerbahce goalkeeper was making a recovery, but he stopped short of offering a specific date on when he could return. Possible return date? Unknown. Tom Heaton. Injury? Unknown. Fellow goalkeeper Heaton has also been absent in recent weeks. In normal circumstances, he would have stepped up in Bayındır's absence and become Andre Onana's deputy. Speaking last month, Amorim said, "Tom is making a recovery. Again, I don't have a day, but Heaton and Bayındır are recovering. Possible return date? Unknown." Harry Maguire. Injury? Unknown. Maguire was taken off before extra time against Fulham in the FA Cup last weekend and subsequently missed the draw with Sociedad. Despite it being understood that his injury is not overly serious, Amorim has been unable to offer any insight into when he may next be available. Asked if the likes of Maguire and Manuel Ugarte, who also missed out in midweek, could return for the visit of Arsenal, Amorim said, I don't know. We need to survive Sunday. The team was so tired in the last 20 minutes. We have to prepare for Sunday and then think about this important game in our season on Thursday. But in this moment, I don't know. Possible return date, unknown. Lisandro Martinez. Injury, anterior cruciate ligament, ACL. Martinez is a long-term absentee after rupturing his ACL in United's 2-0 defeat to Crystal Palace at the beginning of February. He underwent successful surgery a few weeks ago and is now on the road to recovery. United have not put a specific time frame on how long he will be out for, but he will not play again this season. ACL injuries usually take around 6 months to fully recover from. Martin Odegaard rates Arsenal's chances of catching Liverpool in title race. Arsenal are 16 points behind Liverpool at the top of the Premier League table ahead of their must-win clash against Manchester United at Old Trafford on Sunday afternoon. Martin Odegaard insists Arsenal won't give up in the Premier League title race, despite being 16 points behind Liverpool. The leaders extended their lead on Saturday with a 3-1 win over the Southampton at Anfield to extend their seemingly unassailable lead. Mikel Arteta's men do have 2 games in hand, beginning with Sunday's trip to Manchester United, and Captain Odegaard, who admits his personal performances haven't been good enough this season, is refusing to throw in the towel. He insists the last 2 seasons should have taught Arsenal, who led the title race only to blow big leads, that it is not over until it is over. He said, "We'll fight until the end. That's the mindset of everyone. We've been fighting 3 years in a row for the title, and you go a couple of years back then we were leading with a lot of points and then we finished second. It shows that everything is possible, and the main thing is to keep going, keep working hard, and day by day get better in the games, and then we'll see. We've put ourselves in a difficult position at the moment, but we have to keep going. We have to try to win every time we play, and then we'll see what happens with Liverpool." Arsenal and United are separated by 21 points before kickoff at Old Trafford on Sunday, but Odegaard insists Ruben Amorim's side will still carry a big threat. They're not where they want to be in the table, and it's a big club which has struggled a little bit, but as I said before, we know the quality they have when they're really on it, and they have a lot of good individual players that we have to be ready for. It's always tough when you play them. I don't think they are where they want to be in the table, but we know the quality they have when they play at their best. They have a lot of individual quality, and when they play as a team, it's challenging to play them. It's a big challenge for us, and we have to take the good feelings now from this game and what we did, especially going forward, into the next game, and hopefully do more of that. Manchester United are facing unexpected consequence of Chido Obi promotion to first team. Manchester United under 18s secured a comeback win without Chido Obi on Saturday afternoon. Obi has been promoted to the first-team squad in the last few weeks, and the U18s haven't looked as clinical, but they won 3-2 against Derby after scoring 2 goals in the second half. The U18s are attempting to defend their league title this season, and they were trailing 2-1 at the break against Derby away from home, seemingly missing the presence of Obi up front. However, Gabriel Biancheri equalized with just over 20 minutes remaining, and United were awarded a penalty shortly after that, which James Scanlon converted to win the game. The U18s found a way to win to send themselves to the top of the league, although rivals Manchester City are just a point behind United and they have a game in hand to play. Adam Lawrence's side are set to take the league campaign to the final day, and they are hoping to win the Youth Cup, but Obi might have to be involved for that trophy to be claimed. Obi has scored 7 goals in the Youth Cup this term, and he missed the U18s clash against Arsenal in the quarterfinals because he was needed in the first-team squad. The U18s won 3-2 against Arsenal in extra time and will face either Aston Villa or Plymouth Argyle in the semi-finals. United will decide whether Obi is permitted to feature in that clash, and academy staff will feel they will have a better chance of winning the Youth Cup with the 17-year-old in the team. United have won the Youth Cup, 11, more than other side, and they have brushed aside Coventry City, Preston North End, Chelsea, and Arsenal on the way to the semi-finals. After beating Arsenal, Lawrence spoke to the Manchester Evening News and said, "I think to be able to come back twice in a game like this and win it extra time, it's really special. What we do know about the boys is it's not an accident in terms of the attitude that we see every day and their mentality toward getting better and improving. They have history at being strong in the latter stages. We always felt we could score and have that moment, but there's always a chance it doesn't quite happen. I thought they showed character. We felt we had the game under good control. Arsenal were set up in a way tonight and were well coached. They had a clear idea of what they wanted to do, and they were a main threat in those transition moments, mainly through the boy Dowman and some of their attacking players. It was about being really extreme with the control we had, making more passes, managing the spaces and attacking when it was really obvious. If you just attack every time you get it or leave the game too open, it ends up getting a bit basketball-like, so we tried to manage it. He continued, if it ended up being that way, City in the final, that would be great because we'd be in the final,